He had a seizure during the meeting, and then eventually went into cardiac arrest. Just as a side note here, the NFL mandates that we do these emergency action plans for every team in the league, home, away, in your practice facilities. And then we're mandated to practice multiple times a year. Ironically, we practiced on Monday with a group called Walters Incorporated, who comes in and educates us and goes through scenarios like we went through yesterday. With BJ, when he had this seizure, Butker immediately ran towards the training room and grabbed Julie Freimeyer and David Glover, and then grabbed me. We went into the room. Eventually, Tiffany Morton and Evan Kraft came in, as well as with this facility, we have a doctor's office down the hall, and Dr. J.P. Darsh from Kansas University Health System was there. He came up and assisted, and as a team, we tried to stabilize BJ and then put him on the floor while he was still seizing, and then he went into cardiac arrest. So our team of that group of people provided CPR for him. He had one AED shock and came back, so he was only in cardiac arrest for probably less than a minute and a half. Our players, our security staff, everybody involved, coaches, staff, they were phenomenal in handling the crisis. We then turned him over to KC Fire Department, and the paramedics. Those paramedics do those practice sessions with us, so there was some familiarity there with those guys. And then he was taken to KU Hospital, where he was heavily sedated yesterday through the night, and then he brought him out of the sedation this morning. He was on a ventilator overnight just so he could breathe because he was so heavily sedated. That's all out. He's alert. He's awake. He's coming through quite well. We don't have a diagnosis, and in medicine sometimes you don't have that. And then, like I said, he's awake and alert, and he's headed in the absolute right direction. So all things good in a little bit of a hairy situation. But I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I don't have anything to add to that. It's good. Again, it's been a good week for the guys working out, and I'll leave that questions to you guys.
How scary is that situation? I mean, what was your involvement?
Yeah, well, I was able to be right there. I mean, I jumped in there and just from my office. So I came down and popped in. Not much help. They had it under control. So, but that's tough. I mean, that's a tough situation. We've been through a couple of those before in my time, and it's never fun. Thank goodness. So, I mean, if it had to happen, no better place than right here, where you have the support unit that knows what to do. So.
You guys, did you get the whole team together, kind of fill them in a little bit?
Yeah, afterwards, yeah, we had a team meeting after he was released. It was 9:15-ish, right in there.
How beneficial is it for the guys to be able to then just kind of get back to routine today and get back to football?
Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was good to get them out of here yesterday, and we've got support people here that could help them, and if they needed it for what they saw. That's not a real pleasant thing to see and watch. So that was available for them, and then they came back today with good energy, and we've kept them abreast all the way through, even right to the end there of practice. So.
I know special teams meetings can be, most of the team. Was it a lot of players in there?
Yeah, it was most of the team in there. Yeah.
Andy, when Rick said you guys go through that, does that mean the players are included?
No, so the medical staff, they do it, and they have different situations they have to go through, and it's a drill session, and it's an event. I mean, it's something to watch. It's pretty spectacular there.
So Harrison basically just reacts on his own, not some drill he's been through that.
No, we know that. Now that part, the guys know. Rick talks to them enough to where they know. Get the trainers fast, and they were pretty close by because it was getting close to team meeting time. So.
During OTA, you seem to like to always look forward a little bit to the year. I guess it was the Ravens a little bit that you were looking at today. Just how beneficial is that? Getting a look and kind of maybe just more of a scout team environment.
Yeah, it's a good introduction. It's a change up also, but it gives you a little bit of a jump start. Are they going to do exactly what we were practicing today? They're going to have wrinkles in there that you've got to be able to adjust to. But just to go back through and review the AFC West and your first opponent, I think is, it's a good thing. And a good change-up for the guys.
Coach, it seemed like two potential starters, Hollywood Brown and Jalen Watson, have been limited. What's their status right now?
Yeah, they've got muscle issues there. So Hollywood is further along. He did a little bit today, so worked today a little bit.
Andy, there's a story out there, as you probably heard, that Rasheed Rice was involved in a shooting at SMU before he was drafted by the Chiefs. Did the Chiefs know about that story before?
Yeah, the way I'd leave it with you, Adam, is we knew enough to draft him, and then we just went with the process, and we found that it was satisfactory for us. So.
Coach, with minicamp next week, what's important for you guys to get accomplished before the guys go away, before training camp?
We're throwing a ton at them, as you know. And so we've gone back and blended these last couple days. So we're giving them the AFC West and the first opponent, but then we start back day one with the installs from there. And now they've got to learn after 10 installs, they've got to go back and regurgitate all that stuff. And so it's a whole process there. But they've done a nice job with it. It's great for the young guys. Mostly the veteran guys, they have a pretty good feel for it. But the young guys, it's a challenge.
We'll go across from, let's go Todd. New face, old face out there today, McCole Hardman back with you guys. What can he bring for you? And really, like he had quite a bit of energy. We can hear him talking like the old.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, he brings good energy, and it's good to have him back out there. I think we know how to use McCole, and I think McCole knows that we know how to use McCole in his best way. So, and he's a smart kid, so he's a good learner that way. And he's a light player to the other couple guys that we have. Speed, not the biggest guy, but speed guy. So, you like those light components.
Emily?
You went to the White House last week, and I just kind of want to know the comparison between the food between last year and this year, and what was your favorite?
Yeah, they do a great job. I had a chance to meet all the chefs, and they do a heck of a job back there. So I would say it's a jump ball between the two, between the 2 years. It was all good.
And what was your favorite, like, food, I guess?
They had some fish, some fried fish that was like fish tots. Everything was bite-sized, so that gets dangerous. Yeah, that gets dangerous.
Adam, close up.
Andy, just to follow up on the Rice situation, you said we knew enough to draft him. Can you elaborate on what you meant by that?
Yeah, I'll probably leave it right there. Yeah, I'll leave it right there for you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay, good.
Thank you
Yep.
so much.
Go ahead for Carson.
First, when we talked to you last, I think we were just talking about how coming into this offense is a little bit like coming home. Is it felt like that? I mean, how's it going as far as just picking everything up?
Yeah, it's been fun. Honestly, I love kind of just learning. Last couple of years I've got to learn a lot of different football, a lot of different playbooks. So I've loved kind of diving into this and seeing the uniqueness of it. Like you mentioned, and like I mentioned a while back, there's a handful of similarities and carryovers in some terminology, but just kind of the evolution of it and how they've done some really cool things here with different pieces. So I've enjoyed the process, and it's a cool system.
Carson, what stands out about Patrick, and particularly the way he handles this time of year?
This time of year it's different for everybody, but just seeing him live in practice, he just processes the game really quick, and you can see that coming in. The way he calls protections, he's in and out of the huddle, he's throwing anticipatory throws, like all that stuff you see from afar, but it's just fun to see it. In some respect, just see different windows on plays that maybe you didn't see before, because he's just, he's playing so quick out there. So it's fun to see from back there.
Can you speak to just how well Nico Remigio's been playing this camp? He's just seemed to be stuck out in Arlo.
Yeah, he runs all day. I can tell you that. He's been fun to get to know a little bit and on the field as well. And yeah, he looks really good out there. He's fast. He uncovers well versus man coverage. And like I said, he can run all day long. You know, we have days out there where we're down some receivers or this, that, and the other, and it's just Nico's just out there running all day long. So a lot of respect for what he's done so far.
You've been to several camps, as you mentioned. Anything stand out? If this isn't a real camp yet, there's no contact and all that, but just competitiveness-wise, how it seems to us when we watch it, there's a lot of spirit between the two sides.
Yeah, I'd say similar to what I've experienced. You know, I think it's just a mutual respect across the ball, you know, for each other, and just how do we get better this time of year, but also, you know, push each other, but keep each other healthy, keep each other safe. You know, work together, so to speak. We're not the enemy of each other, even though it might feel that way in some team competitive drills. But competition is high out there, but guys, you know, really kind of maintain it and kind of keep it between the whistles and all that stuff. So it's been pretty good.
Carson, you came into the league as a starter. You were a starter for a number of years, and now you're making that transition, at least for this year, to be a backup. What's that process been like
Yeah.
for you?
It's different. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely different, but at the end of the day, I'm still approaching it to be ready. You know, at the end of the day, that's kind of my mindset. I'm trying to learn as much as I can, as quick as I can, formulate a relationship with all these guys, and just keep getting better on the field. You know, at the end of the day, that's the mindset you have to have in this league. You got to always be ready to go and when called upon. So that's no different, I guess, in that regard. But you know, you go out to practice and you're with the twos or you're going scout team. That, you know, it is different. But I'm just trying to get better and take it one day at a time.
In that kind of same vein, I mean, have you kind of figured out what your role is and what your voice needs to be as far as being in the quarterback room and helping Pat, whether it's breaking down film or any other elements of the job?
Yeah, I mean, we're still obviously early. You know, we're only in here a handful of hours every day and a couple days a week, and it's not quite the grind that it will be. So that'll keep evolving and kind of how I kind of find my place, so to speak. But Pat and I already have a great relationship, and you know, that'll keep growing, and I'll keep finding ways I can help. And you know, there's no lie, the dude's been playing extremely high level for a while, so you know, I'll find a way to help in whatever way I can, whether that's off the field, on the field, whatever. So and just here to help and support.
Couple more guys.
What stood out most dealing with Matt Nagy for the first time?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's definitely sharp football mind. That's the fun thing about being here is there's a lot of good football minds upstairs, and you know, lots of creativity within the offense, and Coach Nagy's, you know, definitely at the forefront of a lot of that with Coach Reid, and just everybody's got different strong opinions on things, but also sees the game in a really neat, kind of unique way, and utilizes guys' skill sets really well. I think that's what I've seen from afar for years now, but coming in here, I can tell there's really an emphasis on, okay, what do guys do well, and how can we kind of cater to that and bring it to life, and it's been cool to see.
Given your veteran status in the league, obviously being a quarterback, you have the responsibility of the rest of the guys, but is it somewhat unique to get to know Lewis, knowing that he's never played in a football traditional game before?
Without a doubt.
Is there a sort of responsibility you feel to try to get him prepared as much as possible, given that, you know, he'll probably be on the field with you quite a bit in the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, there's this time of year is sometimes out there it looks like organized chaos at times. So you know, we're trying to, you know, you see that team drill at the end, like it's just fast, chaotic. So guys are trying to work together, help each other out as much as we can, and then in the locker room getting to know each other off the field, so we can form that relationship. So there's, you know, open dialogue for both on the field and off the field stuff, and it's been cool to see him just kind of start picking it up and play ball. And I'm really excited to see him. Once we get to preseason, actually, you know, get hit, you know, break some tackles, and just kind of cut it loose. So it's been impressive to see kind of how quick he's picked it up.
Last one, anybody?
Just in first impressions of just the city of Kansas City. You know, you're a Midwest guy. So.
Yeah, love it. I mean, just the culture, the values, everything that me and my wife, our family kind of stand on, just kind of makes us feel right at home. You know, the fan base, you know, I've played at Arrowhead a couple times, and I appreciate the fan base now on my side. And so it's definitely been a cool city to kind of just get to know in my, you know, first, whatever, it's been 6 weeks here, and look forward to continue to explore it and be a part of the city. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Let's go for George.
First, just take us through emotionally what you guys all went through yesterday with BJ's situation, and what was that like? Just, and how are you now, like, mentally?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad to see that he's doing good, you know, and when you have a guy go down like that, you know, you never want that for anyone, and, you know, it's hard, but I will say this, he was, you know, we're blessed to have such great teammates and athletic trainers that helped him, and we're able and ready for that situation, so, you know, I'm hoping and praying for a speedy recovery for BJ.
I know it's special teams, but were you in the room?
I was not.
Okay.
So what's camp been like?
It's been great, you know, going on year 3 now. It's been awesome, you know, just to be able to have more experience under my belt. You know, we have a very similar group of guys, you know, defensively and in the defensive line room especially. So it's been great.
There was a little uncertainty as to whether Chris would be back. I guess just when that news finally came through, just what.
Oh, I mean, that's my guy, man. So I was over the moon, man. It's my guy. We all love Chris. In this building, and I'm glad he's back with us and he's going to be with us.
What was your communication with him, if you remember when the news came through?
I mean, a couple hours before it came out, we were just talking like nothing had happened, you know, and just because you know it's you know we're friends at the end of the day, you know. So and then it just came out, and I was so happy for him, man.
We see that Felix is now working with Tom.
Absolutely.
Also, so did y'all connect him, or did you connect him, or did you bring him in?
Yeah, there was a connection, you know, and then we all 3 started going, and you know we got Master Dave out there doing jiu-jitsu, and it's great, you know, get up early in the morning and go work on your stuff. So that's been great to do whenever we get a chance.
Have you seen the kind of improvements in his game so far?
Absolutely, I think Felix is you know you could see the difference and how much improvement he's made from year 1 to year 2. He wants it, and you know I think there's great things ahead of him.
What have you learned from jiu-jitsu besides anything that helps you on the football field?
I mean, you know, I grew up wrestling. I had judo background a little bit growing up and stuff. So, you know, jiu-jitsu really helps with a lot of different things. You know, at the end of the day, it's some exercise, but also teaches you a lot about leverage. It teaches you about yourself, really, when you're put in a defeated position, and it humbles you too. So, I could go on and on, but that's at the core.
Couple more.
Obviously, Tom was well known for his handwork, and that's a lot of what you're working on. Last year, Felix, you know, had that wrist surgery, and really, I mean, this time of year wasn't doing any football work because of it. How much of a difference have you seen just in that part of his game from a year ago?
Just like I said, you know, it's been night and day, you know, for him to come out, you know, just like you said, last year he was dealing with a couple things, you know, and now to see him, you know, having a year of experience under his belt and an off season and all that kind of stuff, he's you know, he was a great addition, and he is a great addition, and I think he's going to be great for us this year.
George, did you switch anything up about your off season in preparation for year 3?
You know, for me, I don't really like to publicly speak on what I do in the off season, but you know, got a couple things that I you know, for me, I always like to reflect on what I need to do better and be very critical of myself in order to get to where I want to be and help this team win more Super Bowls at the end of the day. So that's what it was all centered around.
Last one.
I know the process on both sides of the ball is to, you know, break the whole strategy down and build it back up. Is that the same way you approach your own strategy?
I mean, to an extent, yeah. For me, it's always about chasing improvement in everything that I do every single day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
So Justin,
I mean, first of all, softball game yesterday, just how did you enjoy everything? You raised a lot of money.
You came back with a vengeance, man. Yeah, everyone won't knock us down twice. It was a hard game, competitive. Felt good to actually win this year. So appreciate all the fans and all the guys that came out to support and make it a fun evening for everyone involved. So it was a big success.
Just what have you learned about Hicks so far in your time with him?
Oh, I love Hicks. I love physical kid, smart, athletic, willing to learn, very humble in the sense that he's willing to take coaching. Like I stay after practice with him all the time. We work on little things here and there, and he's soaking everything up. So he's going to be a player for us this year. He's going to help us.
You mentioned your enthusiasm for the kickoff rules. Obviously getting the chance to perhaps be that extra defender. What is Dave Toews specifically wanting you to sort of show improvement between now and when the lights are bright, probably in the preseason?
Yeah, just to have the ultimate confidence and comfort that the ball will be in play, that it won't be a penalty, and that the other team will get it at the 40. As long as the ball's in play, and we have an extra guy running down there, like a heat-seeking missile. It's good things are gonna happen.
How much do you want to be like this new kickoff role? Like, how much are you interested in maybe doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to because special teams plays a vital role in the game. It's like the game is 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. And in the Super Bowl, special teams was the difference with us winning and losing. We had that punt that we were able to capitalize on and get the ball back for our offense near their goal line and capitalize on that turnover. So special teams makes a humongous difference, and I'm willing to do anything to help us win.
We see you getting some reps out here when we're out here, but how much more are you working on it? Are you working on it at home? I mean, how do you go about practicing that intricate little kick?
Yeah, so I have a tee in some footballs that I had ticking with me before we started the OTAs. So I worked on it in just some grass fields, just making sure there's good contact. And then OTAs has just been mainly here, and I'll take those same footballs with me in this next break and just continue to stay sharp with it.
Justin, what was your initial reaction to learning about the new rule? And we've heard guys say before, hey, I want to come to the coaching staff with an idea. Was that sort of what happened once you sort of?
No, I think it was already understood without even having to be said out loud, because every year I try and kick. You know what I mean? I just like to do it for fun. So I petitioned Coach Toews the last 2 years to let me get some in the preseason, and of course, the first year the Arizona game. So it was just a natural fit. Like he knew I'd be excited about it, and we think we can turn it into a weapon this year.
Speaking of special teams, I assume you were in the meeting yesterday. Just can you tell us what you saw from your vantage point?
Yeah, man, just credit to our training room and just that sense of urgency and the swiftness that they were able to come in and be fast for BJ. It's just phenomenal news that we got that he's doing better and that he's stable today. But man, like really credit to our staff for being on it, and we're so fortunate that we had them here to take care of him and make sure that he's all right.
Rick told us Harrison was the first one that kind of sprang into action. Was that what you saw?
Yeah. I mean, Harrison's that guy. I mean, he loves all of us, and we're a family. This is so much deeper than just football, and yeah, I mean, we root for each other, and in a moment like that, you just have to call yourself into action. Harrison did that, and the trainers moved so quickly to be able to rescue BJ, and help make it happen.
Justin, what have you seen from Najee Johnson just this past year after his injury?
Nazee's progress last year, he was on track to start. I mean, he was really developing so well. I mean, just consistent, smart player, knows the calls, willing tackler. And then he had that unfortunate injury, and he's been shaken back. I mean, he was able to get some more reps with the ones again today. And he's healing remarkably and really moving around well. So he'll continue to build his confidence back up, and he'll be another good player and another weapon for us.
Couple more. What makes replacing Legere Sneed so challenging for you guys?
Yeah, you don't replace a guy like LJ. You don't replace. I mean, LJ is special, man. He was unique. He was physical. We all loved him here. But there is opportunity for the next man to create his own stamp. You know what I mean? So you don't look for a carbon copy. There won't be another LJ. But there's opportunity on the field right now for Josh Williams, for Najee Johnson, for Jalen Watson, for some of the rookies that we've brought in. There's opportunity there for those guys to step up and create a name for themselves. So we just continue to coach them up and allow them to have the opportunity to do that.
Just for clarity, were you guys aware that BJ was awake and alert before today's practice, or did somebody inform you guys during sports practice?
Yeah, Rick let us know in a team meeting earlier today.
Last one, Adam.
Justin, you obviously have mini camp and the ring ceremony next week, and then you have that block of time before camp starts. What's that block of time gonna be like for you? How do you get yourself ready in that period for a season?
Yeah, so I have a consistent routine. There's a group of DBs that I train with every year, about 14 of us. We usually go to Phoenix, and we go train there, and we'll go there about 2 weeks before training camp, and we'll continue. So the first 2 weeks, I'll most likely be here just continuing to work with our strength staff because they do an excellent job keeping guys in shape, and they'll get you prepared for the grind that training camp at St. Joe's always is. And then the next 2 weeks is more technical stuff that I go train with the DBs that I work with every year with Ryan Clark leading us.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's about it.
You do that in Phoenix too?
Yeah, the training with the DBs is in Phoenix. The training with the staff is here.
Outdoor or indoor?
A little both. Yeah, when we go at like 6:37 in the morning, so we get there before the sun comes up.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Appreciate you guys.